All right, we are now live. We are in Washington, D.C. I've got my 10 zoom lens on. Hello. Fired up periscope, and we can see the scaffolding. Hey, watch pair. We are watching the sunrise behind the, hey, chicken daddy. We are watching the sunrise behind the Capitol Dome. Thank you so much. And the Washington Monument. I am sitting on the steps. Crazy. How you doing? And thanks for the go. You're welcome. Look at that sky. Boss Blue 02. Welcome. Oh man, look at those hearts. I live here. I'm very, very lucky. In fact, I rode my bicycle here. It took me about 15 minutes. Yeah, isn't that nice? And thank you, Aaron on the coast. I think I've seen you before. Nelson Silva. And anyway, we've got, let me check my watch here. I think we still have about half an hour. Half an hour before the sun rises, yeah. I'm sitting here on the steps. Hey, literally, Anika. I'm sitting here on the steps of the Washington, the Lincoln Memorial. And hey. And we are looking at the Washington Monument, which I think when I was about 7, I climbed. Hey, Nazi. Hey, Chuck, gorgeous view. Thank you so much. Buzz Blue. Anyway, I'm also going to be tweeting some photos, as I mentioned, from Wareflow, W-A-R-E-F-L-O, workflow, but no W on the end. Haven't been to the Washington, actually, one of the states. Well, actually, it's not a state. It's the District of Columbia. It's the 51st. It wants to become the 51st state. Washington is out there on the northwest, between Canada and Oregon. But, hey, it's common. Hey, what are those lights? Well, the lights that are the scaffolding. There's hey, Jotter. They're actually doing 2 years of construction or reconstruction or renovation on the Capitol Dome, and that's on the. Okay, between here. Hello from Dubai. Hey, my wife was just in Dubai. She, in fact, didn't wear it, but I had a Dubai hat. Anyway, so in between, you'll see it better. Actually, you can see some reflection. If you look down below a little bit, you'll see a little bit of reflection, and that is that's the reflecting pool. Oh, it looks beautiful. I'm going to get my. Oh gosh, I'm going to step away for a moment because I also have my regular camera. In fact, you'll see me walk in front of the camera because I want to get this picture. The Washington Monument is being reflected very nicely. Hello from Russia. I love the monument. I'm in Texas. Never ventured too far out. And I am going to get this picture if it kills me. I'm going to settings, display. I got to turn up my brightness. Hey, yeah, cool. So I'm going to step. In fact, you'll see me in a moment here. I'm standing up. So I'm taking a picture. Actually, I wonder if I can take a picture on periscope. So if I hold my phone, the red lights for planes. Yes. Okay, so now I am taking a couple of pictures, and that's the blur. And interesting. And I'm going to be tweeting it out on my account, which is Wareflow. Very nice. We're getting some nice reflection right off the water that's not showing up. Hey, Scotland here. I'm like a quarter Scottish, McIntyre. Yeah. Anyway, well, I'm about to tweet out a couple of pictures on the Wareflow Twitter account. By the way, I'm also going to take a picture. Behind me is the Lincoln Memorial, and you can hear the plane taking off. Hello from Connecticut, Switzerland. I love Switzerland. I love Lake Walensee. Anyway, you heard the plane taking off. That is from DCA. White House is about, well, if you see the Washington Monument, it is directly to the north of that. Zurich, I love Zurich. One of the most expensive cities in the world. Oh, I love Walensee. Oh my gosh. It's called? The Churenfürst is the mountain there. Still super dark here, but it's making me realize I should go to bed. Yeah. Washington open, yes, I believe, well, it was closed for repairs. And then it was open, then it was closed again, and because they had elevator problems, and now I think it's open again. Thank you. Wow. Hey, Jim Neeson. Anyway, I'm just going to run this for an hour. I did this last Sunday, And last Sunday, I was hello from Australia. Last Sunday, I was all the way down there by the Capitol Dome. So the Washington Monument was behind me. And and now this time, yeah, right. I'm here at the Lincoln Memorial. Thank you for showing up. And now I'm going to take a picture of what's behind me, and I'm going to be tweeting this stuff out on the Wareflow account, WAREFLO. And now I'm going to take a picture behind me. Excuse me if I miss a comment. I just got a nice shot of the airplane flying over the Lincoln Memorial behind me. So I wonder if I can tilt down slightly. I think you can see the reflection in the pool. There we go. Look at that. Is that great? See the reflection in the pool? That's the reflecting pool. Now that is nice. It is about 6:20 or so, I believe. 6:10. Got about 20 minutes. Look at the reflection in. Now, those little buildings to the lower right, that's the original Victorian roofline of the. I'm going to tilt it down slightly more. Look at that. It's going to be that. Now that is a reflecting pool. Is that cool or what? And occasionally you'll see figures walking because they walk in front between us and the reflected water. And what's really nice is there's I wish there was more breeze because it's kind of hot and humid here, but because it is so still, we're getting this almost perfect mirror reflection. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much. Hi from Boston, North Shore. Love Boston. Did summer school in Boston. I went at Boston University. I was on the Common Back Bay thing. Back Bay. Yeah, I was at Boston University. Is that the T? Green line on the T? Hi from Kazakhstan. Thank you. I love the way Periscope makes the world so small. Istanbul. I love Istanbul. I love Iksander. Is that the name of the? It's the pureed tomato and yogurt and meat on little pieces of pita. Oh my, Iksander. Oh, love it. There's a couple of Turkish restaurants my wife and I go to here in DC. I always get that if they have it. A lot of restaurants don't have it. Hey, Australia. Man, I love watching. There's this guy in Australia who periscopes while he surfs. I don't know how he does it. It's amazing. Super. Look at that sky. The sky. I did some research. I looked online. I looked at the weather. You can hear the planes taking off overhead here. But I'm just now last week I actually held the phone for an hour. Yeah, that's true. You're right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. I love it. That's right. That's a great way to put it. It doesn't make the world smaller. It makes your world bigger. I missed the other comment. Someone made a comment about their capital. Oh, you can see the people. Do you see the people walking? Is that so cool? We're actually getting, that's why I'm actually here. I could be higher up. Now we'll see, I think we're going to see some bicyclists. So watch the lower area there by the reflecting pool, and in a moment you'll see bicyclists go by. They're slowing down. Oh, the colors are so gorgeous. Okay, here comes a bicyclist. 1, 2, 3. There's the bicyclist. Yay, bicyclist. God bless America. Well, thank you very much, Fritz. Get a shot. Yeah. And now we have a bunch of people who are going to walk right across the screen there, and they're going to be profiled by the... This is the second week I've done this, by the way. My wife thinks I'm nuts. Here's all the people. People walking, tourists. It's Labor Day weekend here in Washington, D.C. So there's parades and speeches, bands. Hey, Rivers Haley, thank you so much. And off in the distance there, occasionally you'll see cars go by. So you can see there's a road between the reflecting pool and the Washington Monument. Oh, very much. You're all very kind. Ducks on the yeah, you got it. Isn't it amazing that the resolution is good enough that you can see ducks on the water? And that's I mean that's those they might be geese. Actually, they probably are ducks, but they are a good several hundred yards away. You can see the person there. Now, those are rental bikes, by the way. You can tell because the frames are very heavy. There are about 150 places here in DC, District of Columbia, where you can rent a bike. Very successful bike sharing program. Good morning, Pod and Seed. Thank you very much. Look at that. I'm going to go back and get a screen capture of that. It would be a great screen capture. Well, I'm fiddling with my smartphone because I have the phone here that I'm using for Here Come the Folks. Yeah. The subtle changes, yeah. It's just a gradual, subtle changes. Nice sun view. And well traveled. Not a diplomat. I am the biker? No, I'm not one of those. Those are folks who have rented bikes and are out and about. The aliens, yeah, they're coming. Capitals do tend to get blown up in science fiction movies. Haha, thank you. Beauty, Fork AI, 4K. All right, thank you for the hearts. Sunday morning, right? Yeah, and we're getting a little more light all the time. I'm happy to report. Off to my right, there are people who are jogging. Okay, I'm gonna go to my phone here, and I took a couple of pictures, and I'm going to tweet them out under Wereflow, W-R-E-F-L-O. And thank you for everybody who showed up. Thank you, Fritz Gustafson. Where are you calling from? Where are you coming in from? When come the sun? In about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So we still have a lot of pretty sunrise changes to see. Is that scaffolding? Yes, it is. It's lit from the inside. And gradually, you'll see the scaffolding, they gradually turn the lights down. This is the second time I've done this, so actually I know the routine. Originally there was scaffolding around the Washington Monument for a couple of years. That was actually very pretty. Thank you to everybody who's showing up. Hello, Kay Mary. Thank you. Like last Sunday when I did this, I actually held the phone pointed at the sunrise. And now I have a tripod to make it easier. And I think it's although there's a certain charm. Sierra Sun shared on Twitter. Thank you so much. So pretty. Melwood. Very much so. It really is very super. Thank you for the hearts. Very kind. I've walked along Miss DC station in Andrews. Oh, cool. Miss DC, yeah, you were in 98, 02, 01. Jumping off, but thanks for getting up early. You're very welcome. Thank you so much. What was that? It was something. Oh, well, I walked along, and it looks a couple feet deep when I've walked along the edge of the reflecting pool. Thank you for the hearts. Very kind, very kind. I'm gonna take a pic. Can people swim in it? No, I think it's pretty disgusting. I think there's technically there's only two places, two pools, fountains in DC that you can go into that they have chlorine in. One is the pool in front of the fountain in front of Union Station, and I don't know what the other one is, but someone told me. By the way, I'm tweeting out a picture of where I am sitting, and you'll see the people lined up like pigeons watching the sunrise. So I'm tweeting it out on Wreflo, W-R-E-F-L-O, and it is going out right now. Awesome, thank you, DMK. And okay, actually, what I should do is tweet the. I'll just tweet it out. Yeah, go to Wreflo and you'll see Lincoln Memorial, where I'm periscoping from. Many famous gatherings. Yep, many. I have a dream speech. Just about amazing history there. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and tweet. I just tweeted it on Wreflo. I didn't even put a hashtag on it. Wreflo, W-R-E-F-L-O. You'll see a picture of the Lincoln Memorial behind me. Yep. We are seeing lots. Look at the streaks of color. Look at the clouds. There are the folks walking. Folks are walking along. Very nice how they're kind of standing there right in the, sort of in the shadow of the Washington Monument. Yeah, you can see them moving. One arm stuck out there. Walking around. People just, and behind me they're just lined up. I can see probably 20, 30 people right now behind me. Just waiting for the sunrise. Someone just commented and I stepped away to grab my other camera, so I didn't see your comment. I'm sorry. So I hope you'll make the comment again. Bonjour. I've been watching folks having fun in Paris via Periscope. What a great way to travel the world. This is the second week I've done this. It's the second week my wife thinks I'm crazy. Hi from Israel. My wife, I offered her both times. I said, come on, it's gorgeous. And she just laughed. Thank you very much. Vink Ramones. You see the folks walking. The guy's drinking from a bottle of ice water, and I have my own bottle of ice water here. So I'm going to stay well hydrated. Very humid here right now. Lots of new followers. Hello, Raider Nation. Wow. Well, a lot of... In fact, yeah, well, hey, it was designed by the French. Pierre Charles Lafont was an architect, French architect. And he laid out the reason, one of the nicknames for Washington, D.C. Hello from Stockholm. Beautiful view, and Stockholm is beautiful. I've been to Stockholm with all the little islands and so forth. And is it Adolphus there, the king statue downtown? All the hills. Hanlon from Florida. Thank you so much for showing up. Yeah, like I said, I wonder, time to summarize. It is going to be, I think we're about 15 minutes out. Now, because we have the buildings on the horizon, technically the sun won't rise. Yes, it was. In fact, I heard it was like, I follow if you do. That's every day. Haha, well, that's cool. Well, gosh, it'd be interesting if I do it another Sunday. I'm really, it's really fun to get up and share this stuff. Hey, Vink. How you doing? Look at the way the clouds are changing. Hi, Lloyd. Patrick. Eminem. M-E-M. Egg over light. Cool. I like eggs. Thanks for sharing. I heart, yes. I love it. And it's just, it's funny. I've lived in DC now for about 10 years. And I'm good too. Thank you. And I've lived here for 10 years. By the way, the sun off to the right, or the sky off to the right, is really getting gorgeous. I'm trying to decide whether... Yeah, Lincoln is behind me. I'm going to turn this slightly so we can see... You can see the... And we're going to see birds here flying overhead. So I'm going to flip back to... right there. I think we're going to see birds at the very top of the screen here in a moment. I guess they're too small. Yeah, it's hot and humid. But it's upper 80s, but extremely humid. So stay hydrated. Got my... You hear my ice, my big jug of ice. And it's gradually melting, staying cold. Colson Ramsey, thank you for showing up. Appreciate it. Very nice. I'm gonna, it's interesting. As you tilt it up and down, the contrast changes, so that you'll see this. It's kind of interesting. With a tripod, I have a tripod, and now I'm going to adjust the tripod. So now, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So now you get to see some more of the colors of the sky. Now notice that the scaffolding is not as bright. In the lower, that little knob to the left of the Washington Monument is the Capitol Dome. And when I started, about a half an hour ago, yeah, it is very pretty. When I started about a half hour ago, it was all lit up. It was like a big, bright, incandescent thimble upside down. And now, I'm going to tilt it down slightly, and you'll see the reflecting pool. There's the reflecting pool. And now you can get, now because it's a little brighter, you can start to make out the people. There we go. As soon as the focus gets adjusted here. Hello, focus. We need to focus. There we go. Super. Yeah, and that's a photographer. So do you see the tripod? The guy has a tripod. And then someone is standing there taking a picture. I wonder how many people are periscoping though. Tell me how the cam. Yeah, no, I'm a 3D printer guy. I had to print a 3D. I'm happy to share, but I took a traditional selfie stick, the top of it, which only holds a camera sideways in landscape mode, and then I 3D printed a kind of a hook, a double hook. Paris, love you, man. Thank you, thank you. And DC design, Washington DC was designed by a French architect, Pierre Charles Lafont. Although I saw his name as Peter Charles Lafont on a statue the other day. And oh yeah, 3D printed. But it's right, absolutely. DC was, and we are, one of the nicknames of Washington DC is City of Magnificent Vistas. Hey from the UK. Thank you so much, Layla. And the lights just keep changing. And now you can actually make out some of the detail. Look at the base of the Washington Monument, and then if you look next to it, you can actually see the lights of the Capitol twinkling. And there's a difference in the shade, or the color. And you can actually make out, and Washington is a state too. That's exactly right. Washington State is on the northwest coast. It is in the upper left-hand corner. It's south of Alaska, but north of Oregon, north of California. And the wine isn't as good as French wine, but they do make a lot of wine there. Columbia Valley, that'd be the Columbia River. DC, that is. Yep, we're in DC, District of Columbia. Hello from Houston. Hello, Miss Taryn. District of Columbia is not a state. It is a little triangle, actually a diamond with a little chunk cut out of it, in between Maryland and I love New York. Love New York. Anyway, DC is a little diamond that's nestled in between Maryland on the north and Virginia on the south. and it was a compromise. So when the 13 colonies were forming in maybe the 1780s, there was a big debate about where the capital should be. So the most powerful business colonies were like Boston and New York, Massachusetts. But then, of course, you had the southern colonies that were growing various things, tobacco. And the White House, okay, if you go, imagine yourself teleporting down to the Washington Monument, which is that obelisk that sticks up, and then directly north about a half a mile. So if you were standing, yeah, sure, Fletcher. Now, the Fletcher family doesn't own that anymore. That's a good question. 10 by 10 triangle. 10 by 10. That's an interesting, I have to look that up. You know what, it is interesting as you're going along, you'll find little monuments. And so up in Bethesda, there'll be like this stone rectangle with a box with a brass thing, and it marks the line between Washington D.C. Technically, I've read there is no city named Washington. That is legally, technically, it is the District of Columbia, and Washington doesn't exist. Big Freemason, I have no idea. I think that's like, isn't that like one of those movies? What hour is it? It's about 6:25, 6:30 actually. So we are about 7 minutes from sunrise. I'm looking at I can tell you exactly, but we are, and it is getting brighter. You can make out more detail. And once the sun has risen, and it's nice and bright. Thank you so much, KW Landers. 11:30 where you are. So you must be over in UK, I'm guessing. The Freemasons. I forget. Is that my dad? I think my dad was a Freemason. I have no idea what that is. He's got a ring. Was meant for Washington, I think. 1 p.m. Hey, from London, Florent. Papa. Cloudy here in Florida. Yeah, well, it's... oh, here... The ducks are flying overhead. I almost grabbed the scope and pointed it at the ducks. George was my ancestor. Cool. I'm presuming George Washington was your ancestor. Very good. Excellent lineage there. Have you been to Mount Vernon? Mount Vernon? I think I'm not sure if we're going to Mount Vernon. We have some visitors coming to visit. My wife is setting all that up. Oh, you can see the ducks splashing. Freemasons have a temple. Yeah, they do have temples. That's the are there different versions as Freemasons? Because there's the Scottish temple. The Scottish temple, is that the Freemasons temple? That's up in kind of in between Shaw and DuPont. Hey, Doss, thank you very much. Look at the people taking pictures. Yeah, Scottish Rite. My father has a Mason's ring. It's, the temperature's good, but it's really humid. I rode my bike here, and I just was sopping wet. So this is probably 75. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for Cynthia. Not sure about that. Yeah, I have a tripod. That's why. Now, 1 week ago, I did this all the way down by the Capitol Dome, and I held it for an hour. My arm got tired, so now I have a tripod, and then I 3D. Notice, because normally when you get an attachment for a camera. By the way, I have a zoom lens. I have a zoom lens on my smartphone. If I took it off, it wouldn't look quite as impactful. Wareflow on Twitter. That's it. WRAREFLO. No W at the end. George. Yeah, George. I believe he's buried at Mount Vernon, right? No, he's Washington Monument. I don't know. It's a monument, not a memorial. So, yeah, this is, I try to read the Wikipedia pages before I shoot these scopes. So I'm not. Last week when I did this, hey, Shy Blues, Last week when I did this, I walked all the way from the Capitol Dome down there to here. Oh, okay. And Capitol Dome to here, and I wandered. Yes, you can. I'm going to keep it pointed in that direction. By the way, I just tweeted a picture, but once the sun is in the sky, okay, and if I have my I think I was fully charged. Okay, behind me we'll walk up. We'll see the statue of Lincoln, and but anyway. So last week I wandered over into the Korean War Memorial, and I got confused. I thought it was the Vietnam War Memorial, and people were really, really diplomatic. They were saying, "Chuck, are you sure?" And I said, "No, I'm not sure." They built a tomb inside the Capitol for him, but his wife wanted him elsewhere. Right. So it's at. Also, actually. The Washington Monument isn't the first. There's a big statue of him that's where he's like dressed like a Greek, kind of like in robes, in the 1800s, and it was sort of scandalous. Everybody was saying you can't have a half-naked George Washington. So that now that sculpture, it's like about 25 feet high, is in one of the Smithsonian. Yeah, that's what I thought. Mount Vernon. And by the way, anybody who's ever driven in or out of Washington, D.C., a very pretty road is the George Washington Memorial Parkway. And it runs along the Virginia side of the Potomac River. It's like 14, 15, 20 miles long. And it's great to ask. It's a great trivia to ask people, where does it go? That is, if you follow it, it goes right to, it's the driveway to Mount Vernon. It actually ends up in a loop. I live in DC. Yeah, I live here I'm about a 10-15 minute bike ride in Chinatown, actually. Love living here. See the ducks? You can actually see the people. They're off to the left there. There are people coming out of the gloom. I wonder if they're feeding them. No, actually, you just walk along there. The ducks think you're going to feed them, so they come along. They approach you. Great to have you folks hanging out here, watching the sunrise. We're really watching the sunrise in the reflecting pool, because I have the reflecting pool centered here on the screen. But you can see how it's getting bright. The top part of the screen is getting bright. Thank you. Oh, and that's an artist. So the guy, I think, is carrying his poster board. Spectacular view. Yes, yeah, it is. I love those little lookout points where you look down to Fletcher's Cove. Someone asked about Fletcher's Cove. Yeah, isn't that weird? It's so, it's funny. Some of these time zones are so wide, even though it's the same time. Some people will be in dark. It'll be light, and sometimes it'll be dark at the same time. Hey, Gemglow, MK, and Sierra, who lives in Maryland. Thank you for the hearts. Yeah, isn't that weird? Like the difference between Atlanta and Boston. Same time, sun's up one place, still dark the other. People are walking along. I see could be like 100 people behind me. John, thank you so much for showing up. We're just watching the sunrise. I think the sun has risen. Yeah, technically the sun rose about 2 or 3 minutes ago. But you see, we have buildings between us and the sun. So it's not like we're on the ocean. If we were on the ocean, you'd see the sun by now. But you can see it's getting brighter. I'm trying to figure out where. I think it'll rise to the right of the buildings. You see the heads of the folks walking down. Hey, thank you very much. Gemglow Marketing. Love Periscope. Just hanging out here, sitting on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. I'm from Illinois, so I have kind of a connection to, oh boy, I just want to grab this and turn around and show a bunch of stuff. Hey, Chicken Daddy, I've seen you before. Oh, here's one of the bike cyclists. Here you can hear the plane coming overhead from Reagan International Airport. I'm gonna go take a look at my Twitter account, see if any of you guys tweeted me or followed me. So I'm Wareflow, W-A-R-E-F-L-O, no W at the end. Thank you, Chicken Daddy. G-Long. Okay, I'm going to my Twitter account. And I did tweet out a picture of the Jefferson Memorial. Is very pretty. It's just, and I've read that the roof, which is made of marble, is remarkably thin. You know, light can actually pass through it. Periscope. Thank you so much, Cynthia Joy, for doing that. Watching. Oh, very nice. Oh, thank you. I'm going to retweet you guys here. First, I'm going to start with Lori. What is the dome to the right? Okay, that is the. Okay, there's two things to the right, and I will tell you what those are in just a minute. As soon as I RT a couple of you guys. Okay, the first thing that's kind of flat and with a little point. That is the top of the National Archives. So that's where they keep, like, you know, famous documents like the original Declaration of Independence. Webster, hey Webster, my last name is Webster, by the way. And then to the right of that, where it looks kind of rectangular and it's sticking up, that is it looks kind of like a castle, and that is the old Smithsonian, the original old Smithsonian building. And then of course to the left. Of course, in the middle is the Washington Monument, and it's so tall, but it's more interesting to look at the reflection than the sky itself. But then to the left is the Capitol Dome, and it has scaffolding. And when I started this, probably 45 minutes ago, isn't that amazing? I remember when Periscope used to crash all the time. And 45 minutes ago, the sky was black, and that little thing to the left of the Washington Monument was bright white, because it's covered in scaffolding, and they have lights inside the scaffolding to make it look pretty. Hey, Aiden and Toaster, Clutch Steve, thank you so much. This is the second weekend in a row I've done this. Second Sunday in a row. I've gotten up at 4:30. Found you on Twitter. Thank you so much. And I retweeted one of you guys. In fact, I'm going to retweet. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes, and then I'll. Thank you to Egg Over Light, Sierra Sun. Hey, Melbourne. Hey, I hear, got to run. Okay, cool, Layler. Hey, Melbourne. I read that it's the coldest winter ever in Australia. Hey, DJ Bryce. I was watching that on CNN this morning. Eva from the UK, Angel. Thank you. Thank you, Egg Over Light. Thank you, Lucy H, for the favorite. Thank you for the scope. I need to connect with my history. I was feeling down. Oh, well, that's nice. I mean, not that you were feeling down, but yeah, I love history. I really need to spend more time reading more history is what I need to do. Because people ask me questions. It was really funny. Last week, I was walking around. Yeah. Last week, I was walking around, and people were asking questions, and then people were answering the questions before I had an opportunity to be wrong, which was pretty cool. Hey, Nate. It's Now has joined. Thank you. Hello, It's Now. Cold, very cold. Yeah, Melbourne, freezing right now, and it's spring. Is it finishing? Is that addressed to me? Well, the sun. Technically, the sun has risen, and but it's behind the buildings. Okay, and I'm basically, as soon as the sun actually gets up and we can see the sun, of course, then it's going to wash out this photo. So we're not going to be able to see much. But so as long as this is pretty, I'm going to continue to run the Periscope. DC, Suns, HS Graham, Memorial Day, life-changing. Well, it's fantastic. Where are you based, Chicken Daddy? Hey, Grant, how you doing? G'day, mate. M8, cool, I like it. Yeah, I love watching. I've been watching a lot of stuff in New Zealand and Australia. Horses in New Zealand, like native Pascagoula, Mississippi, right on the coast. Well, that must be nice, especially in the wintertime. Hey, dog lover. Yeah, it is nice. Yeah. Oh, and off to the right. If you look in the upper right, there's a reflection off a building that's kind of bright. And there's someone running. Lady just ran across the field of vision. And basically, as soon as the sun actually comes up over the over one of the buildings down there and washes out this picture, I'll take the go to bed now. Bye bye. Thank you, Oregon. Is it just me? I don't know. Question mark. Is there a living memorial there? I'm not sure about what a living memorial would be. El Kiguchi, thank you so much for showing up. This is it snowed up in Queensland a few weeks ago. Yeah, it's funny. I remember years ago, I was in Chicago. Chicago has pretty cold, harsh winters, but it was like in the 70s on Christmas Day. Hey, Clutch Steve. And they went out to interview like people on the street, and everybody's like going, "Oh, this is incredible!" And they're running up and down the lake shore in shorts. And then they say, "Hey, what do you think of this weather?" And the guy has an Australian accent, and he says, "Oh, it's okay, you know." And then he stops. He says, "Oh, wait a minute. This is the northern hemisphere. Shouldn't it be winter here?" And he had just gotten off the plane from summertime in Australia into summertime in the U.S. As far as he was concerned, it was completely normal. Very pleasant. I think I'm zoning out here. Okay, I do see the sun is going to be to the left because I see it brightening over the trees. So I was actually, hey, Ezik. Actually, you know what? For some reason I thought the National Mall, which is what we're on right here, it's this long rectangle from behind me, which is the Lincoln Memorial, all the way down to the Washington Monument, past that to the Capitol Dome. I thought it was like perfectly, ran east and west. I don't know. When was the Lincoln Memorial erected? Anybody out there who's can look that up quickly? I suppose I could, because I have a second phone here. Okay, I'm looking it up. It's 2045 here. So you use military time wherever you are, eh? Well, it makes sense in this context. So I'm looking up I'm going to Google on my other phone, and of course Google now has new font, new logo, and I'm going to the Lincoln Memorial Wikipedia page. Lincoln Memorial. No, just making it easy to understand. You're right. You're right. Okay, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. Okay, there it is. Okay, aerial view. I am checking it out. Architect Henry Bacon. Oh, yeah. Hey, yesterday I was in DuPont, and the park has a fountain, and it's designed by the same people who designed the Lincoln Memorial behind me. Anyway, built between 1914 and 1922. All you're missing is that Superman theme when the sun rises. Yeah, or how about like this UFO coming out of the sky and destroying everything? Capitals of powerful and famous landmarks. You can see it's getting brighter. Okay, I'm on the Wikipedia page. Okay, Lincoln was the 16th president of the United States, and it is the Lincoln statue was carved by the Picciarelli brothers. I'd click on that link, but I want to stay on here. And their internal murals dedicated in 22. Symbolic center. It is Greek Doric. So I'm telling you things that are about the monument behind me that you can't see. But I did tweet it out. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's getting brighter. And basically, when the sun, we can actually see the sun, I will take I'll take you up to see Abe. Good old honest Abe. I'm from Illinois. And his hands are the ones because they had nothing else to base. Is that interesting? I don't know how that. Because there are death masks, and they basically wrap wax around his hands. They wrap his hands around dowel rods and then wrap them around wax, and then they construct molds, and so there are molds of his hands. So, but I am not disbelieving you that it's the hands of the sculptor. I used to study in an old Victorian building at the University of Illinois. It'd be like 3 a.m. in the morning, and around the corner, hey, Angel, it was the death mask of Lincoln, which normally would be like really creepy to have the death mask of someone, except that because it was Abraham Lincoln, you just know that if there is a ghost, that would be a good ghost, so no problem. Even though it's 3 a.m. in the morning, I'm alone, there's a death mask, but it's of Lincoln. Never creeped out. This is the beauty of Periscope. I had to see the sites like this. Yeah, I have been watching this people surfing. Yeah, people have been surfing. I like Switzerland. I go to Switzerland. I just saw this nice. I watched the sunrise in Thun, Thun, I guess, which is near Interlaken in Switzerland. I watched the sunrise this morning, about 2 a.m. in the morning. People running by. Hey, Onk. I'm Grant. Nice to meet you. Where are you from, Grant? Are you the guy from Melbourne? Oh, too many to mention. Korean War Memorial, Vietnam War Memorial. I took pictures. The District of Columbia War Memorial for people from the District of Columbia. In fact, I'm going to tweet that picture right now. I'm going to tweet the picture of the District of Columbia War Memorial on my Twitter account, WAREFLO, no W at the end, and it's on my tweet that I used to send this Periscope out. So I'm going to check out. Yeah, I watch him. You know, I love Hong Kong. Been to Hong Kong. Yeah, cold there. Freezing up in Greenland. I hear. I don't know. My other phone is a BlackBerry and it's not operating perfectly. So I guess I won't be tweeting that picture because I can't find the picture. Do 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 do. I think I'm gonna RT Cynthia Joy. Shubham, yeah. Thank you for sharing that Twitter with your tweet if you're with the link to Periscope. So I'm going to retweet it right now. Hey, Montclair. This is the second. I would jog around there. Yeah, you would. I wouldn't. I have a bike. I walk slowly around there. In this temple, in the hearts of the people. I have a tweet. If you search from Whereflow, hey Dan, you'll find lots of pictures of this monument behind me, including of that quote that someone just. Isn't that cool? Look at the person standing there. That is so cool. I love the profiles of the folks walking along the edge of the reflecting pool. Lots of joggers here, though. Hey, tweet. M. Chardon. Alfred. Sun is getting brighter. Like I said, if you hang around here, when the sun is actually, hey, built, yep. Thanks, M. Sharmas. Your Health AT guy. It's interesting. I can actually make out a kind of, there's like almost like a little fog. You could see between, hey, Artwink, between, I wouldn't call it a fog, or more of a opalescence in between the Washington Monument and the Capitol Dome. Hello, Asia. Yep, sun is coming up over. Hey, Mike. Coming over the left there, on the left. Hey, hello. Nice view. Yeah, thanks. That's the Washington Monument. That's the obelisk. That's the tower. And to the left is the Capitol Dome. And this is the second Sunday morning I got up. I will. In fact, as soon as it gets a bit brighter. Hey, MC50. I will do a 360 and I hope still morning here when I'm okay. Yeah, I'm going to do. We're almost to the point where I'm going to walk around the Lincoln Memorial. Hey, Fam Russell, and you can hear me rattling around. I'm kind of storing some of my little stuff here, and I'm going to get hydrated. You can hear the plane going overhead from Washington Reagan. A couple feet. Hey, rocket. Is that yours? Yep. Yeah, it's a kick bike. Got one of those folding bikes at home too. Two of them actually. A Dayhan, that's a nice one. Is that a Brompton? Yeah, Brompton's nice. Pricey but nice.
It served me well.
Yeah, no, it's worth it.
I ride the out of it, so.
Yeah. And you got an extension.
I did.
Yep.
Also, yeah, this was good night.
Thank you. Very pretty.
Did your calf ever get tired?
Say what?
Did your calf get tired?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, hey, folks, I'm talking to this guy about bicycle. That's okay. No, that's fine. You can wave at it. I'm on Periscope. We got a guy with a folding bike here. And I'll show you my kick bike here in a moment. I had a folding bike and I rode it a lot, and I rode it over cobblestone, and I ended up with some back problems because of the vibration. And so I got the kick bike because you get more of a full body thing, core and so forth. And I liked, and so sometimes people will stop me, and they've got their 28 speed bike. And they'll say, why would you do that? And I'll say, because it's more efficient. And they say, it's more efficient at what? Exercise. It's a lot more work. Hey, so long. Yeah, I just had a pleasant conversation. You'll see the guy here. That's the guy on the right. He's going on down the hill. He's got a folding bicycle. And we're talking about his folding bicycle. And I have a scooter. Not as cool as this, but this has given me the idea to go to the Wright Brothers Grace. Yeah, no, hey, please do. I listen. Kay Zimmerman, I'm in. Hey, Clutch Steve, Dayton. Yeah, Dayton. There's the connection. I didn't realize they were buried up there in Dayton. I know there's a little bit of a rivalry, I think, between Dayton and the Carolinas as to wow, this is really cool. I can actually see, I don't know if you can see it but I can actually see the fountain, and the fountain is lit up. The fountain is to the right. It is approximately 2,000 feet, 618 meters long, over a third of a mile. Very good, thank you. All right. And we are very close to getting a tour. Hey, John, how you doing? Lots of photographers here, by the way. So this guy walks by, and I said, hey, Lee. He said, as I said, on Periscope, and he went, oh, like, oh my gosh, he was supposed to be quiet. I said, no, please. Yeah. Yeah, well, they were bicycle guys, if I recall. Bicycle technology. Morning. Depth of 18 inches. There you go. 30 inches in the center. Pretty good. I gave it I eyeballed it, and I said 2 feet. And that was just from walking along the edge. I think like in some movies or something, haven't people like fallen in? Someone told me pull a something or other, and they referred to an actress. We're almost to the point where I'm gonna take the camera off my tripod and give you a little walk around. And 7 million gallons of water. Freaking A, man. This is so awesome. This is one of the many things I like about Periscope is just the people who supply the information. Hey, wifey to a boss. Okay, I'm just about to give you a walk around. Threw a few bass in there, yeah. Then the problem is people would come and fish, and then that would be, I don't know, disruptive. Okay, I'm going to step away from the. I'm going to step away from my smartphone for a second because I need to stick some stuff in my bike, and then I will come back and I will take the smartphone. Hello from London. I'm about to give you a little tour of the Lincoln Memorial. Be right back. Ugh. Okay, all right, here we are. Hello, fellow Daytonian. Cool. Well, here we are. Well, by the way, I have a zoom lens on here, and I'm taking off my zoom lens. So that's what we've been looking at. So I have a zoom lens, and I took it off. Hey, from Reston, nearby. And now I'll give you a slow... By the way, there's the plane. The plane is... Speaking of planes, so we were here. That's my kick bike right there. Thank you so much. And I'm going to walk around a little bit. Yeah, beautiful there. Okay, so we're gonna. You can see the folks. See the folks sitting up there? That's my shadow. Good morning from Dayton. Let's see here. See the folks running. Okay, now I'm going to take this off of the tripod, which is a little bit tricky. All right, so okay, so now there's my reflection, by the way, and I think we're gonna give you another little bit of a panorama here. And you can see the sun is up. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. Okay, so let's... The sun is right on the statue, well, on his arm. You can see up here. In fact, I'll put the zoom back on. And then we'll probably walk up in a moment. So I got the zoom. By the way, there's my zoom right here. That's my zoom. See, it clips on. So I'm going to put it on. And you can see Abe's right hand. See the folks sitting out. These are the folks that came here to watch the sunrise. Brought their dog. Folks are out getting their exercise. That lady there has got her own camera, a tripod. Yep. Folks getting pictures. Yeah, I think you can zoom like on the iPhone, but I can't zoom on my Androids. So I bought myself an optical zoom that I can clip on and clip off. So I also have a fisheye. I'm not sure if a fisheye would be useful here, but we'll walk up there. And in fact, let me. I've got a little. I actually have a piece of string. Well, I'm not a professional photographer, but obviously I'm an amateur photographer. Okay, we were going up. Let's go inside and take a look. Let's go take a look at the not sure how that it fits pretty well. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this, but in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. In this temple, as in the hearts of the people for whom he saved the Union, the memory of Abraham Lincoln is enshrined forever. Yeah, pretty much. That's Arlington Cemetery over there. And I'll put the zoom scope on so that you can see what I believe is General Lee's house or home. I'm not sure. Let me put the zoom lens on. So there's Memorial Bridge. And there in the upper right, I believe that might have been Lee's. I know it's on his farm. Yeah. My father-in-law is buried over there to the left. Yeah, I wonder. Hadn't thought about that. Of course, if you know your DC history, the District of Columbia used to be a diamond shape, but then they took a chunk out of it on the Virginia side, and that's because of the combination of local politics and bitterness after the war. So there's a Confederate War monument over in Alexandria. And I think that they decided to cut the ties. You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, they do. Oh, actually, no. They're not where they stood. I think many people have stood in that place, I think. Well, I'm sure there may be something, but I don't know if it's specific. I should do the Martin Luther King Memorial one of these days. Hey, Scooter Dad. Getting our pictures here. Temperature feels around 76 or so, and which is Fahrenheit. Someone can translate that to Celsius, centigrade. But it's very humid. See the folks running. Well, I think I'm going to give one more shot of Abraham Lincoln. Thank you. Cambodian ruins. Isn't that an interesting... Oh, now we have the sun on his face, so we'll step in here. There we go. Sorry. There are people behind me trying to get pictures. So I'm going to step out of this, off to the right. Yeah. Interesting Yeah, it was. Interesting combination of light and dark. Backing up here. Yeah, there's a metaphor for you. All right. My understanding was that Lincoln was a bit of a depressive occasionally. Well, I think this periscope must be like an hour and a half long. I got to be running low on. I'm sitting down, and I guess I'm just going to flip it around here. I got to say goodbye sometime. And let's see here. I think I have Lincoln behind me. So we got the runners. And, well, maybe next... I can't actually see any of your comments because of the... Okay, I'll flip it back. You don't want to look at me. All right, I got it. All right, goodbye. I'm trying to flip it back. There we go. Well, now one of the things about shooting these videos is that if I run out of... Okay, thank you very much. Who is that? I can't tell. Sun gear. Okay, I need sun gear. If I run out of battery right in the middle of shooting a periscope, I can't recover the video file. I like to upload these to... you hear the... Oh, we're going to see some geese go by. The geese are flying over the reflecting pool. So, I think we're just about done. I might do some other scopes later today. But, hey, follow me on Twitter, WAREFLO. And I do, next Sunday morning, I'll do something similar. Bye-bye.